Hi, welcome to English Journey Adventures. Today's story begins with a school contest, my private words, and another student's name. Listen and follow. This is my teacher gave my story to another student. My name is Isabel. I was 16 when I heard another student read my story in front of the whole school. Chloe stood under the bright stage lights. She held 7 pages, took a breath, and read my first sentence. She said, "My grandmother kept hope inside a blue suitcase with one broken lock." Those were my exact words. The audience became quiet. Then people began to smile. Beside the curtain, my English teacher, Mr. Bennett, would not look at me. When Chloe finished, everyone stood and clapped. I stayed frozen near the aisle, listening to hundreds of hands celebrate something that belonged to me. 3 weeks earlier, Mr. Bennett had announced a city writing contest. The winning student would read at our school assembly. I loved writing, but I hated speaking in public. During my last presentation, my mind went blank and I left the room crying. Mr. Bennett knew that. Still, he stopped beside my desk and said, "Your quiet voice has something important to say." The contest topic was simple: write about one object that changed your family. I immediately thought of my grandmother's old blue suitcase. That night, Grandma Rosa placed the suitcase on our dining table. Its color was faded, and one lock had been broken for 40 years. She had carried it when the factory in her town closed. Inside were 2 dresses, a family photograph, and the address of an aunt she barely knew. Grandma told me she was afraid on the bus to the city. Then a stranger shared food with her and helped her find the correct street. I wrote about the suitcase, but really I wrote about courage. Sometimes courage is not loud. Sometimes it is one person getting on a bus. For 6 nights, I changed every sentence. Grandma listened from across the table and corrected the details when my memory was wrong. When I finished, she touched the final page and said, "Now the suitcase is carrying our story too." I saved every draft. Mr. Bennett read the story after class. His eyes became wet near the ending. "Isabel, this is your strongest work," he said. He asked me to email the file because the classroom printer was broken. I sent it from my school account that afternoon. Before I left, he asked, "If this wins, can you read it on stage?" My stomach tightened, but I said I would try. 2 days later, he told us the contest accepted only one story from our class. Then he said mine had not been selected. I was disappointed, but I believed him. He was my favorite teacher. I thought teachers protected students' work. At the assembly, Chloe's name appeared as the contest winner. She was confident, popular, and excellent at speaking in front of people. Then she began reading about the blue suitcase. Sentence after sentence came from my file, even Grandma's small joke about the broken lock. A girl behind me whispered, "Did Isabel copy Chloe?" Another student answered, "Maybe that is why her story was rejected." I walked toward Mr. Bennett. He quietly said, "Please wait until this is over. Do not make a scene." Then the principal gave Chloe a certificate. Cameras flashed. Chloe smiled for one picture, but when she saw my face, her smile disappeared. After the assembly, I placed my notebook on Mr. Bennett's desk. My first draft was dated 3 weeks before Chloe's reading. I asked, "How did she get my story?" He moved the notebook aside and said, "The situation is more complicated than you think." He said writers sometimes use similar ideas. I opened my story and pointed to Grandma's exact sentence. Similar ideas could not explain that. His face became red. "Trust me until tomorrow," he said. But trust without truth felt like another closed door. My friend Noah met me in the computer lab. He did not offer gossip. He asked one useful question: "What can you prove?" We opened my school account. The original file showed 6 saved versions, each with a date and time before the contest deadline. My email history showed when I sent the final story to Mr. Bennett. The attachment still had my name in its file information. Then Noah checked the class folder. Mr. Bennett had copied my file into a contest folder the following morning. A second record showed that Chloe opened the copy later that day. The history proved the path of my words, but not why he gave them to her. We printed the records. I expected to feel powerful. Instead, I felt sick. Evidence could return my name, but it could not make the assembly disappear. Before I went to the principal, Chloe found me outside the empty auditorium. She was holding the certificate against her chest. She said, "Mr. Bennett gave me the pages. He called it our class story and asked me to practice reading it." Chloe thought the writer wanted to stay anonymous. She only understood the truth when she saw my face during the line about the suitcase. I wanted to blame her because anger needed somewhere to go. But she looked frightened, not proud. She had also been used. Chloe held out the certificate. "I will tell the principal with you," she said. "A prize should not make someone else's voice disappear." In the principal's office, I placed my drafts, email, and file history on the desk. Chloe explained what Mr. Bennett had told her. Mr. Bennett was called in. For a long moment, he stared at the papers. Then he removed his glasses and admitted everything. He believed my story could win, but he remembered my panic during the last presentation. He was sure I would refuse the stage. So he gave the story to Chloe and planned to call it a class project. When the contest form allowed only one name, he entered hers. He said, "I wanted your words to be heard without putting you through that fear again. I thought I was protecting you." I answered, "You protected the story's chance to win. You did not protect me. You never asked what I wanted." The principal agreed. Helping a student did not give a teacher permission to remove her name or choose another voice for her. Mr. Bennett apologized to Chloe too. His plan had placed her on a stage with a story she did not own and a truth she did not know. The next morning, the school called a short assembly. My hand shook as I sat beside Grandma Rosa in the front row. Chloe walked to the microphone first. She returned the certificate and said clearly, "These words were written by Isabel Cruz." Mr. Bennett gave a public apology. He did not ask anyone to forgive him. He explained that good intentions do not erase a wrong choice. Then the principal invited me to read one paragraph. Fear climbed into my throat, exactly as Mr. Bennett had expected. But this time, Grandma held the blue suitcase on her lap. Noah smiled from the aisle. Chloe stepped away from the microphone and waited. I read slowly. My voice shook on the first sentence and steadied on the second. Nobody laughed when I paused to breathe. The contest corrected the record and placed my name on the award. Chloe kept a certificate for her reading, with the truth written clearly. Our school also changed its rules. Every shared project now required written permission, and every writer's name had to remain with the work. Mr. Bennett stayed my teacher, but trust returned slowly. He listened more. He asked before helping. that mattered more than another speech. A year later, I joined the library writing club. I still became nervous at the microphone, but nervous was no longer the same as unable. I learned that a quiet voice is still a voice. Support should help it grow, not replace it with someone louder. My teacher gave my story to another student because he thought fear made the choice for me. He was wrong. The choice was always mine. Thank you for watching English Journey Adventures. Listen again for stronger English. Read the words. Repeat the lines. And remember, helping someone should never mean taking away their voice.